it's Sammy's turn to get behind the gun, and I've been seeing a big old buck in here, so. He's a good one, buddy. Hunting with old Miss Callie. This is her first deer hunt.
McWhorter Custom Rifles presents
This week we're going to switch it up a little bit. You guys are used to seeing me guiding, all professional, traveling all around the country. Well, that's what my kids are used to seeing too. This week it's their turn to get behind the gun, and these are some of the most memorable hunts of the year. Can't wait to share them with you.
Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by McWhorter Custom Rifles, Macmillan Fiberglass Stocks, Swarovski Optique, and Extreme Wildlife Adventures.
The first hunt y'all are going to see is my daughter Samantha, and AKA Sammy, and she's been waiting all year. Finally her turn. So we are here in Oklahoma, and the wind is blowing about 40 miles an hour. Couple of days before Thanksgiving, and had some clients in camp. Everybody's been successful so far, and it's Sammy's turn to get behind the gun, and I've been seeing a big old buck in here, so we're hoping he comes in today. We got our good luck charm, old bow hunter Ellis, in the blind today, and we've got a bunch of Black Angus cows, about 100 of them witnessing our hunt today.
200.
Maybe 200.
I counted them.
So we're hoping they leave out here in a little bit. But anyway, it's the rut is in full swing. Bucks are chasing like crazy, and it should be a good day. Anyway, here we go. We're gonna see what happens. Old Bo's in the blind with us. You remember that hunt, Bo? And we get in the blind. Mr. Don puts us in there, feeds the road back out of there, and the deer start piling in there. Cows, all kinds of cows too, wasn't there, Bobo? And we wasn't in there very long, and here come a big old management buck, and Sammy laid the hammer on him.
I'm shaking.
That's awesome.
You see me right now?
And Bo. All right, here we go. We didn't have to hunt long, and this big old 8-pointer come in, and Sammy looked him over good in the binoculars, and he come right in here close to about 50 yards, and she couldn't resist. He's an old buck, well past his prime, just a perfect deer to get out of the herd, and man, he's awesome. Good Oklahoma buck. This is your second deer, isn't it, Sam? Shot him with the 7 STW. 195 grain burgers were hard on him at 50 yards. So just an awesome buck. Dropped in his tracks. And we got plenty of daylight. We're going to get some cool pictures right here and load him up, take care of him, head back to the house, and maybe next time it'll be Bo's turn. What do you think, Bo?
Yeah.
You ready for that?
Yeah.
All right, Sam, I'm proud of you, baby. You got anything to say?
I'm still shaking.
Still shaking? That's what it's all about right there, people.
This segment of Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by Borden Accuracy, makers of the most accurate custom hunting actions on the market. Manufactured in the USA to true bench rest tolerances. Borden Accuracy equals success.
The next hunt is old Austin. He's been hunting with me quite a bit, and he actually helps me guide some. And this time, he's getting to about that age where he don't really want to sit in the blind. He wants to kind of move around, and it was a perfect day. We were driving to a blind, saw a big old buck, and decided to make a stalk on him. I led the way. We got in about 150 yards of this big old buck we'd been watching all year. Just a perfect deer to take. And Austin got in a big old mesquite tree, got steady, and you'll have to forgive me, I did not bring a tripod on this one, so it's a little shaky, but Austin got it done. Feel good, the shot?
Yeah.
The dang sure whacked him.
I know. I know I didn't jerk it.
Shot felt good.
Yeah.
Blood, see? Alright, check him up.
Look at that.
Yeah, he's bleeding good. Follow him, stay on the blood. He's an old rascal.
Well, just walking up, saw him on the feeder, got propped up on an old tree. He was knocking, a lot of brush. We were waiting for him to walk a little farther. Nailed him.
McWhorter 300 Win Mag. Laid it to him, 210 grain burger. He did not go far. He's a stud, man. He's got big old bases. Good deer.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by Huff Power Auto and Outdoor Stores, Borden Accuracy, Ultimate Antler Deer Feed, Mesquite Creek Taxidermy, and Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue.
Hunting with old Miss Callie. This is her first deer hunt, and a little windy the day after Thanksgiving. But we're gonna give them a whirl. There's a bunch of deer out here. There's a bunch of bucks that she's got her eyes on. So it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We just got in the blind, and the bucks are in full rut. We saw a big 10-point with a doe just down the road here a little ways. So we're hoping for some excitement. It ought to be a good evening. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. Now it's Callie's turn. She has never taken a deer before, so this is a really special hunt. She's been around it a bunch, but she's never actually got to go and set and hunt. Everything was working in our favor that day, and big old 7-point comes in there and just posed for her. Meh.
Do it.
Yeah.
I got
You
it.
drilled him. You drilled him. Here you go. Yeah. What do you think, girl?
That was good.
Is it awesome? You hit him perfect. Perfect.
Welcome back, folks. Today we're going to continue our discussion on what affects a long-range hunting shot. Today we're going to talk about earth-based effects.
All right, yeah, and the earth-based effects, earlier you heard me talk about the environmentals. Now we're going to talk about the earth-based effects. And I'm going to add one into there, which is actually a gun, effect because of the twist of the barrel, which is the spin drift. Because it's a right-hand twist, the barrel comes out spinning to the right.
Clockwise.
It has what's called yaw of repose, which is going to be to where it's slightly pointed up and to the right, so it's going to cause it to shear to the right. And it's a very calculatable factor, easy to do as long as you have the rangefinder that does that for you. The next one we're going to talk about is Coriolis. Coriolis is going to be on a horizontal plane is how it's going to end up affecting the bullet. In the northern hemisphere, you're going to have it to where it's going to actually cause your bullet to drift to the right. In the southern hemisphere, it's going to drift to the left.
Right,
So
so
if you
you're
have
going to
a
add spin drift and Coriolis.
Yep, so if you have a right-hand twist and you're in the northern hemisphere, you're going to have, even more to the right. But if you were to take that same right-hand twist into the southern hemisphere, you're actually going to have, it's pretty much going to mitigate, so you're not going to have as much. And then, the British were actually really ahead of us because they made mostly left-hand twists because of all their battles that happened in the northern hemisphere.
Yeah, but when they come over here, they're SOL.
SOL. And then the...
Strictly out of
And then the other one is that most people take and consider it as vertical Coriolis. And it's a great visual, it's a great way to describe it, but the actual term is eolivos. And what it is it's actually the magnetic force that has us attached to the earth. And that's actually we're all moving at the same speed as the Earth is. And this is where the other part of it is that you have to know what latitude you're on to know what that speed that the Earth is rotating at that point.
Because it rotates faster at the equator than it does at the poles.
So if you're shooting in the same direction that the Earth is spinning, it's actually going to add a velocity during that flight time. So beyond that 500-yard range, it's going to come to effect and give you a quarter to a half minute of elevation difference.
Right.
You're going to end up shooting higher. And then like in the opposite direction, the opposite is true. It's taking away that velocity, so therefore you're going to end up hitting a little bit lower. So these factors are just really important beyond that 500 yards because it's the difference between that ethical shot and an unethical shot.
And if you don't consider them, or if you don't have a device that considers them for you, then you're going to have a real big margin of error.
Absolutely, and the Sig Hilo 2400 is absolutely that one-stop shop, but it's not doing the environmental factors, it's doing the earth-based factors, and it's taking into account spin drift. The only thing you have to do is manually put in that wind.
That's right. And we're going to go into wind next week, one of the most important and probably the hardest thing to do. That's your downrange segment brought to you by Keith and Allen and McWhorter Custom Rifles.
Precision Hunting TV is also brought to you by Tacticam, Sig Sauer, Trigger Tech, Brux Barrels, Capstone Precision Group, and Hawkins Precision. This segment of Precision Hunting TV is brought to you by Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, real Texas barbecue.
Now it's Callie's turn. Everything was working in our favor that day, and big old 7-point comes in there and just posed for her.
Until he stops.
Do it.
Yeah. You didn't miss him.
I got
You
him.
drilled him. You drilled him. Here you go. What do you think, girl?
That was good.
Is it awesome? You hit him perfect. Perfect.
All right, Callie with her first deer. Got an awesome 7-point. Perfect shot with the McWhorter 7 STW. And he was about to wear us out, wasn't he? Got there and wouldn't give us a good clean shot for about 30 minutes. He finally did. And she put it right in the pump station. Perfect. Awesome deal here in western Oklahoma on the Lost Creek Ranch. So old Bo, he's been very patient. We got to go hunting a few times early in the season during the Oklahoma youth season, and we didn't get it done. We had a couple close calls. We saw some good deer, but we just didn't get it done. Bo was very good, very patient, and right after deer season, things kind of slowed down, and we went to Mr. Brian's ranch. What would we go hunt for, buddy?
A ram.
A ram, that's right. Went to the ram pasture. Now it's Bo's turn to get behind the McWhorter. Let's see what he can do. So we find this big ram that we've been looking for. He's broken one side. He would have been a giant had he not broke. But there's a reason that he's broke. He's a bully, isn't he, Bobo? This is a big old bully ram, and he's been breaking up everything, so it was Bo's duty to take him out. So we had to find him. We get in there, and lo and behold, he's bullying when we got there, wasn't he? And we waited for everything to clear. It took us forever to get a good shot on this ram without shooting another one behind him, but he finally come out, turned broadside. Bo steadied the McWhorter and squeezed it off.
130 yards.
That's right, 130 yards.
Make sure you're right on it. Oh, it turned. Hold on, wait. Okay. Now get on it. Standing in there. Got him. Yes. Got him. Yes. Got him. Good job, buddy.
Let's go get him.
Good job, buddy. Awesome. How fun was that?
That was worth the wait.
He's 130 yards.
130 yards?
That's 130.
Well, it took forever, but it was worth it.
He's awesome, isn't he?
Yes, he is. I saw it was lined up with his legs, even better than a heart.
Yeah, he shot his heart out.
I want to thank Brian Austin. All these hunts took place on his Lost Creek Ranch. And if you have any questions or want to join us on the Lost Creek Ranch, give me a call or shoot me an email. Thanks for watching.